time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. On Monday I did a reaction to Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow song, Stargazer. Then I compared the guitar solo that Ritchie Blackmore did in Stargazer to the guitar solo that Sam did in their cover version of Black Sabbath's song Heaven and Hell that they had released the previous Friday. Why did I do that? Well, an interesting comment came in on the Liliac version saying, hey, the guitar solo does sound a lot like Ritchie Blackmore's in Stargazer. So I thought, let's do that comparison. I received quite a number of comments back on that comparison, but this is the only one that said this particular statement, and I thought it was kind of interesting. The comment comes in from a YouTuber that goes by the name of Cristea Rocks. And Cristea writes this: if the two solos from Heaven and Hell had been played, then the comparison would have been more logical. But then that's just me. So I thought, yeah, it'd be kind of fun to now, after we listen to the Stargazer, to listen to Black Sabbath's version of Heaven and Hell, and then play Sam's guitar solo right after that video. And do they compare? Do they compare, or did Liliac do their own thing on the guitar solo in their version of Heaven and Hell? So I thought, okay, let's do that. Heaven and Hell is a great song. It's by Black Sabbath. It was written by Black Sabbath. It was recorded and released in 1980 on their album Heaven and Hell. And it was their first album with Ronnie James Dio as the lead vocalist. Ozzie Osbourne had left Black Sabbath in 1978 after their album Never Say Die. Now, I was really heartbroken when Ozzie left because I am a big Black Sabbath fan and was a huge Black Sabbath fan in the 70s. I remember buying the first album and just getting into Black Sabbath and this following through the 70s. So when Ozzie left, it's like, is this the end of this fantastic band? Well, in 1980, when they released Heaven and Hell, I bought it, but I was like, this is not the same Black Sabbath. Though it sounded like Black Sabbath, the lead vocalist didn't. So I was put back a little bit by that. But the more I listened to the album, the more I enjoyed it. Because I had purchased the first Blackmore's Rainbow album, so I was familiar with Ronnie James Dio. Great album, fantastic album. Today, it's one of my favorite Black Sabbath albums. And the following year, they put out another one called Mob's Rule. Mob Rules in 1981 with Ronnie James Dio. Two fantastic albums. If you have not heard them, you got to go find them, pick them up, listen to them. So here we go with Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath, released in 1980. And as soon as it's over, we're going to play Sam's guitar solo. So here we go with Black Sabbath. So I'm just going to stop this and comment real quick on the song. I mean, It starts out so fantastically. It's Black Sabbath. I mean, there's no getting around the sound of Black Sabbath. It's just fantastic. My favorite heavy metal band of all time. But then when Ronnie James Dio comes in and sings that first verse, it was like, wow, that is so different, but so powerful. I mean, his voice is so powerful on this song. Something that, Ozzie was more of a, vocalist that kind of, gave you a sense of mystique and mystical type vocals. Well, Ronnie James Dio is just right in your face with this thing, and it is great, and the lyrics are fantastic as well. So let's keep on going. I love that refrain. That is a great refrain in the song. But on and on and on. Just an awesome refrain, and the guitars in there are just, woo, powerful. Okay, guitar break. There's the guitar break. That's what we're listening for, is that guitar break. I like it where they go on and on, and then they go into the guitar break. Now, what's similar between, I think, all three versions, the Liliac version, Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow Stargazer, and Black Sabbath's version of Heaven and Hell, they have that repetitive rhythm track in there. Just the bass and the drum, and it's repetitive. It's the same, like, chords over and over and over. And in all three versions, the three guitarists, Ritchie Blackmore, Tony Iommi, and Sam, they're playing their guitar solo over that repetitive track. I think that's where the similarity comes in, because I think their guitar solos are all a little different, but they have that repetitive rhythm track that's going on, and they're playing over the top of it. Then it changes up a little bit in the Heaven and Hell version here by Sabbath, where he gets a little bit louder. Tony gets a little bit louder on his guitar, and the rhythm track changes. And then it goes into that drum, very short drum solo, like a couple of second drum solo, and then the bass guitar feeds in. And then Tony takes his guitar and he plays out a guitar solo in this guitar break. Now that was very similar or almost the same as what Liliac did, which it didn't appear in Stargazer. So there's some changes, there's some similarities, but I got to say all three are great. There's not one that's like, oh, I'm going to put that one aside. They're all great, but I just love Tony's guitar solo in this song, and I love it where they do that drum break, and then they finish up the guitar solo. So let's keep on going. Incredible. Incredible. They're such an incredible song, such an incredible band. Like I said, I love Black Sabbath. I just love Black Sabbath. And it doesn't matter what incarnation they have or what lead vocalist they have. They're just a fantastic band. They're just a great heavy metal band. Now, we're going to go back, and I'm just going to talk a little bit more about this. Love the ending where, Ronnie James Dio sings another verse, and then Tony does his guitar break again. He does quite a long guitar break, and then it ends, and this acoustic guitar comes in. And the acoustic guitar, very repetitive acoustic guitar chords over and over and over, takes the song out. And if you watch the Liliac video of their cover of Heaven and Hell, what do? they kind of stop the song. You know, the guitar break stops, and it goes into this acoustic guitar part. I think it's an acoustic guitar that they're playing. I'm trying to remember now if that's what it was or if it was just nice chords on an electric guitar. But it fades into Melody sitting on a cliff playing the flute. So this doesn't have the flute in there. They added the flute on there, which was a really nice touch to their cover version of the song. But wow, this is a great song. Loved it. Love the lyrics. Lyrics are great. I love the on and on and on and on refrain. Great refrain. Great guitar solo break. And great ending to the song where it's heavy, heavy guitar chords. And then it goes into the acoustic guitar. Just well put together. What a, you know, this is the first song on that album. So it's like, this is the first time you're hearing Black Sabbath of Ronnie James Dio. And they knocked it out of the park. What a great song. So now we're going to go and listen to Sam's guitar solo to see how close they are, the Liliac, to the Black Sabbath version. Here we go. Right before this drum break here, Liliac did the rhythm track nearly exactly the same, but you know what I'm trying to say, as the Black Sabbath. They had that repetitive bass and drum beat in there, and in this case they had a keyboard in there too, and it was repetitive, and then they changed it up prior to the drum break that we're going to listen to next. So that part of it was you know, very similar to the Black Sabbath. Now, Sam's guitar solo to me is totally different. It's much brighter, it's much louder, a little bit faster than what Tony was playing. Tony was a little bit more subdued, I think, in his guitar solo. So I don't think the guitar solo is the same, but that backing track is nearly identical between the Liliac and the Black Sabbath. So let's finish it up. Okay, so now the drum break comes in. Abigail comes in with a drum break. I think hers, again, is a little bit more powerful and lasts longer than Bill Ward's in the Black Sabbath version of the song. I think his was a much shorter. The bass came in and then the guitar took off right away. Here, that probably lasts for maybe another 10 seconds or 15 seconds longer than the Sabbath, with the bass coming in, and then Sam just goes nuts on the guitar. Again, I think his guitar playing is more, I don't know, speed metal, more of a speed demon. He's much louder, much brighter with his guitar, where Tony's, after the drum break, wasn't like in your face. It was more laid back, guitar solo more in the background. It wasn't as loud. And so I think there's a big difference between Sam's guitar playing on this song versus Tony's. I think Tony's is I don't know, maybe you could say it's more mature. I don't know if that's a word you can use for guitar solos, but was majorly different. While the rhythm track was nearly the same, other than Abigail taking that drum break a little bit longer. So I thought this is a good recommendation to actually compare the two versions, the guitar solos of the two versions, you know, the Black Sabbath and then the Liliac. And yeah, I think, like I said, the backing track's the same, but the guitar styles are different. The guitar playing is different, and the guitar solos are different. And that's cool, because it should be. Each band should have their own mark. And if they take a song like Liliac takes Heaven and Hell from Black Sabbath, they got to make a little bit of it their own and not like cover it note for note. So that's my take on it. If people watching this video have a totally different take than what I have, that's cool. Put it in the comments below. That would be really appreciated. So also, if you like this comparison, or you just like the song Heaven and Hell, or you like Black Sabbath, whatever it is, hit that like button. That'd be really appreciated also. Well, I'm going to take a link to both the Liliac video and the Black Sabbath video and put in my description below. So if you want to watch them again and compare them, pick on the two links, sit back and enjoy. I'm also going to take the link to the channels that uploaded both these videos, and you might want to check out those channels. They might offer up something that you want to see as well. Now, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, as you can see, we're doing some really cool stuff on Driving with Todd. Why don't you go below this video and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that already. I'd really appreciate it. If you go over here, ring that bell, you get updates to my latest videos. So this is fun. I thought, I read that by Cristea Rocks this morning, and I went, okay, this isn't what I was going to do today, but I think it fits with what we've been doing for the last week. And yeah, it was cool. It was cool because I love Black Sabbath. This put a big smile on my face. I'm hoping to put a big smile on your face. And peace out, baby.